Hello, marry me. So this is going to be another book review. And this is the last one of the Llewellyn type almanac I have for this year. And it is Llewellyn's 2014 Witches Companion, an almanac for contemporary living. And I have to say that I really like the cover of this here. Purple is my favorite color, so I think this purple sky theme is beautiful. And I also like the goddess and god symbols down here. So yeah, let's see what it contains, shall we? We have contents. Um, and again, this has a lot of articles and yeah, 3 generations pagan. We have a basically community forum is the first basically yeah, section of chapters. 3 generations of pagan, basically pagan family life. And there are some good books about this, but generally compared to a lot of other religions, there are sadly too little of it. Then you have when pagans get old, which is basically about aging as a pagan. And then we have burning ourselves at the stake, the confusing madness of the witch wars. Basically, there's a lot of arguments within the pagan and occult community, trust me. You see, it's strange, but it somehow we human beings tend to be even more aggressive towards those that are similar to us, but not similar enough. So that, for example, uh, I have seen even more discrimination between Christians of various sects, like Baptists who go after um, Catholics and so on, than against pagans, and it tends to be the same thing. So occultists tend to argue a lot about even the most minuscule concepts within the craft, and of course, too many believe they have this one and single and only truth. So yeah, lies my magic teacher told me. Basically, how we should learn to think for ourselves. Quite interesting article. So yeah, though I think that article has a bit of a much focus on this is the wrong information, this is the right information, while instead perhaps it should focus more on what is the wrong and what is the right information for the individual. Because something that works wonderfully for me might give you no results at all. Then we have reclaiming the word witch, which is basically again, I'm a witch, hear me roar. I think the article is perhaps, had it been published 20 years ago, I would definitely think it's amazing. But nowadays, to be quite honest, when I say I'm a witch, usually people say, "Oh, are you Wiccan?" Of course, we are not all there, and the word witch is still used by some people as an insult, but it's not that much both of again. I might be talking out of my ass here, and it's just that I am lucky that live in a very tolerant part of Europe. And then we have The Devil Take the Hindmost, Adventures in the Black School. Uh, Basically about magical education. Columbia, American Goddess, which I think can be an amazing article for those that live in America. I thought it was interesting as well. From Dominance to Guardianship, Gaia's Great Permaculture Movement. Basically magical environmentalism. Quite interesting. Then we have Witchy Living, Day-to-Day Witchcraft. Using creative visualization to make your life more magical. I really like that article. It has a lot of great advice for using, well, yeah, creative visualization. Touched by the spirit world, which basically says, just what it says on the tin. Magical de-stressing, this was is an important one. Everybody could need a bit of this. Everybody's working for the weekend, which is basically how do you fit it in, how do you fit pagan celebration into a busy everyday schedule? So that's an amazing article that I think anyone that lives in a busy urban kind of lifestyle could have a great use of reading. Drawing out magic, basically using drawings or scribbles to do magic. Quite interesting. Expanding your circle to find thoughts on finding community. Guess what it says in the 10. Cyber magic, ancient tradition in the modern world. I love all those kinds of modernizations of magical systems and so on. So what do I also like the old versions? So yeah, I really like that article. Witchcraft Essentials is the new section, and we have the first article there. Making time for magic, which is again how to fit it into your busy day and life. Her vessels, chalices, bowls, and cauldrons, which is yeah about magical vessels. 5 essential stones for witches, quite interesting. Though of course if you are been working a lot with stones and magic, it might be a bit too shallow, but it's a good starting point. Solitude and quiet, important tools for the magical practitioner, quite interesting. The art of dedication, basically, this one is a very good article and says it very nicely and plainly a lot of things about dedication. The tree circle possessory right, great ritual there. Spellcrafting essential, wolves, versatile components. So basically more advice on how to live magically and how to better your spell work and doing it in a very versatile way. Magical transformations. And the first one here we have positive magic for negative situations. That one you want to read. That's it seems like in all of these books there's one article that's sold. It's worth the price of admission. This one is it. So yeah, it's basically how to use positive magic, just turn around negative situations or help you handle negative situations. It is awesome. The dynamics of mastery, making the jump from beginner to seasoned pro, quite useful because within, especially neo-paganism, it's a little bit easier if you're on ritual magician and such on because there we have beginner and intermediary and advanced and beyond books. But within neo-paganism, there's a lot of beginner books, but not so much for those that have passed beyond that point. So that's a very useful article. Making magical water, which can be quite useful. Here's what it says on the tin. And then we have basically types of magical holy water, water for ritual, and so on. And then we have as close as I can get to knowing Hecate. Very interesting article about the goddess Hecate. Beginning, bringing the ancestors into your practice. Amazing piece. Healing lessons from the school of life. Quite good, though quite new agey. Working with healing deities. Also quite interesting article. Then we have lunar calendar or calendar with holidays and new and full moons. So the question is the articles worth? Yeah, definitely. And again, like I said, this isn't a book that you can only read this year. The articles are just as valid next year or the year after or 10 years from now. So if you want this book and you don't want to shell out a lot of money for it, I do recommend waiting to the end of this year or perhaps the beginning of next and buying it then, because then these almanacs go dirt cheap because of the 2014. Basically, this is far more of like one of my subscribers called it, a magazine without the ads and pictures, than it is almanac. But does it have an almanac function? No. It has a calendar in the back, which is more than that herbal one did. So you have a lunar calendar, and then you have a page like this for every month, which basically, yeah, it's just your everyday calendar. Other than that, as you can see here, it's just articles, articles, articles. Now, the book is very good. There's a lot of interesting articles here, though, of course, in any such collection of articles, some are better than others. And it's also a very beautiful book. It is, every now and then there's these illustrations and just little decorations on the page. Though it's not like a magazine that has pictures on every page so that it sort of takes up a lot of space for the text. Most of this is text, text, text. So yes, it's articles. So yeah, even if you're a beginner or if you're intermediate or have been doing this for quite some time, there's a lot of articles that basically is useful for a pagan. So you can say this is a pagan lifestyle magazine that comes out yearly. Just ignore anything almanac about it. At least they haven't put almanac as big of it, but I don't know why they would call it almanac. Basically, 2014 Witches Companion, I would be fine with if you just go take away that lower section there, the subtitle, because that's what it is. It's a Witches Companion. It is all sort of useful articles to make witchy life easier. But almanac? No, an almanac is something that you use to keep track of days and dates. This is a yearly magazine or yearly publication. So do I recommend it? Yes, I do. It's a lot of good stuff in here, and both about topics that you might then get interested in and buy whole books about it, and topics that might not need a whole book but could benefit from an article like this. So yeah, and the articles are decent size. They're not huge. Like for example, we have When the Pagans Get Old. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. And the Witches War one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages. So the articles are a decent length. So yeah, I'll give this book 8 out of 10. I really recommend it. It's a good book. And that's my review of Llewellyns 2014 Witches Companion. Hope you enjoyed this review. Have a great day. Blessed be.